And good afternoon, and welcome to the Leaders Only Digital Show and Podcast. I'm Samaj.
Kendall.
We're brought to you today by Would Have Changed Mentoring and Tone Drone TV. Today, we'll be covering a few stories to being talked about recently on social media and in the news. So please invite your friends, family, check out the Leaders Only Show, have a watch party, subscribe to our channel, share it, hit the bell, like it, comment below. And if you're watching in the playback, just go ahead and put that hashtag replay in the comments just to let us know you were here. How you feeling today, bro?
Glad we're kind of off track a little bit, personal things going on. But I'm blessed to be here. I'm happy that I'm here with you.
Yeah.
Happy that I came out here to the Big Out. Um, can't wait to taste this delicious food. And I had a couple of sessions with my therapist and a couple good brothers. And I just feel better, man. I feel uplifted, and I'm blessed.
Yes,
How about
indeed,
you?
man. Man, I'm doing well, man. Mommy in there, just chilling, waiting for a few more family members to get here and friends. But definitely, man, warming up all the food now. Everything's done. Just got to throw this lasagna in the oven. Some days, some moments in the day are better than others. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yes, sir.
definitely a lot going on, but definitely feeling good, feeling positive. But I can't front. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely trying to figure some things out, just
Yeah.
and moving
I can relate.
forward.
I definitely can relate.
But,
Definitely can relate.
yeah, but
But
outside of that,
as always, we're gonna keep you in
all is well.
prayer and always uh just keep you uplifted as much as you can because your energy always brings us joy. So we're gonna try to
Yeah,
keep you uplifted as much as
definitely, man. It's much appreciated. But we headed in the right direction. Either way, man, work got to get done. You know, purpose got to get done. Um, but just having faith. You know what I'm saying? Keep that
we can. Yes,
faith.
sir. That's a big word
So
right there. Keep the faith.
last week, you know, we touched on Travis Hunter, and we touched on Travis Hunter and his lady getting a divorce. This week, we got a new story, just another follow up to them. I'm not sure why it looks like that on your camera, um, but we have congratulations going out to Travis Hunter and to Leanna Lene, the 22-year-old Jacksonville Jaguars cornerback wide receiver, and his wife, Lene, have welcomed a baby boy. Now, the couple who married in May of 2025 are now parents to a baby boy. They did not share the new name of their newborn. So be on the lookout for that. My comments is it's a lot of moving pieces, a lot of moving parts. So I'm just sitting this one back. Anytime, you know, a baby is brought in the world, it is a blessing, but it is also, you know, what type of household they're being brought into, you know, what type of
Yeah.
parents they have, the union between the parents. So I just pray that they figure it out. I know last week we spoke on the divorce. There's been a lot of moving pieces going on with this relationship in itself. I just pray that they get on the same page. Either they stay together or they don't, but they stay on the same page just so they can co-parent. And I do pray that his assets are protected and that this was not a play, because that seems to be common. You know what I mean? Over the years, but really common these days, especially when you have so many people. You only loving while it's good. You know what I'm saying? When things go bad, you know, they tend to, you know, run. She might not like him no more, all that type of stuff. And I just pray that his assets are protected, man. Outside of that, I pray that he just takes care of his child. And I pray that they could just, you know, get it together. If not together, then just stay on the same page and raise that beautiful bundle of joy, that baby boy. And I just pray that he stays healthy and he has a clear head this season. I mean, it's a lot going on, you know, right before the kickoff of the his first NFL season. So I know it's just a lot of stress. Get a therapist, you know what I'm saying. Get a counselor, whatever you need. But above all, uh, think about the child.
So, so, I totally agree with you. I could piggyback right off of that. I totally agree. My thing is, I pray that they could keep things private as possible. Um,
Hmm.
with the world of the social media and how everybody gets clues and then they take it for what they want to take it for. I just pray that they stay. Uh, if they don't stay together, that they stay cordial and meet the main goal, which is the child, and make sure that child is protected and raised correctly. Um,
Mm.
but other than that, man, we'll just let this one play out. And like I said, I just hope that they can find peace in their relationship, and I just pray that he protecting his assets.
Yeah,
That's me.
yeah,
But other than that, man, congratulations.
yeah. Definitely,
We can go
congratulations
ahead.
on their first baby boy. But like we said, man,
Absolutely.
there's always something to learn from, especially for the youngsters. Before you start creating children and stuff like that, make sure you have a secure foundation, and that is with a person that you can see yourself with. In this case, he probably assumed that he was going to be with her forever because they got married. But uh, I believe mental health. That's why I believe mental health screenings and stuff like that. They need to be done on both ends so both people can have a clear understanding of who they're dealing with and that they can help one another because they're so young, man, that they're gonna look back at this probably twice, you know what I'm saying, and be like, what were we doing? So
Yeah.
just get the right guidance on both ends so that baby, can have the proper village. Want to jump into the next story?
Yes, sir. So, Illinois man accused of drugging girlfriend with abortion pills to cause miscarriage. 31 administered abortion pills to his girlfriend without her consent while she was 7 weeks pregnant to cause her to miscarry. Ernest allegedly put 4 mifepristone pills into his girlfriend's to the report. The pill is meant to be taken orally, and the recommended dose. The woman began experiencing medical complications and lost her unborn child. While abortion is legal in Illinois, intentional homicide of an unborn child carries a minimum of 20 years in prison for each count. Ernest was charged with 2 counts of intentional homicide of an unborn child. So my thoughts on this one, man. This is a crazy situation to me. Um, I totally disagree. Um, that's why it's important to know who you're dealing with. I totally agree with the mental health check. My brother always says that on both sides. I totally feel remorse for the young lady. It's sad that he would do something to an unborn child. But the thing is, you did things out of love and passion, and now that the baby's here, I mean, with pregnant, you choose to make a irresponsible decision. And I pray that for her that she get the proper help and proper treatment, and that her physical body can remain in good standards, whether her health is good or not. Because I know that things like that causes complications. And then
Mhm.
stop making immature decisions.
Yeah.
It's so easy to wear a condom, put one on. It's that simple. You're gonna have unprotected sex. You already know what you're dealing with. It's a chance, it's
Mm-hmm.
a possibility that a baby would be born.
Yeah.
So when you have the unprotected sex, the decision is yours to make, and you got to live with the outcome. I really, but also say it's sad to say it, but he's going to get what he deserves because the Most High
Yeah.
is always looking. So that's my thoughts on it, and that's how I feel about it. And like I said, I send out my remorse to the young lady. I pray for her. I pray for her family. I hope she has the support that she needs, and I pray that she gets the help that she's going to need. Both of them
Mm.
on both ends. He's about to walk into a whole nother journey, and I hope he ain't prepared for what he's about to face.
Yeah. I totally agree. Pretty much the same sentiments. I mean, I get it though. You know what I'm saying? This is somebody with a low vibration. Probably regret it. You know what I'm saying? It's not right. You know what I mean? I don't want to justify it, but I do. I get it. This a man thinking like, man, this is my only resort, and like you had said, and we always say, that's why you shouldn't even be having sex, especially with somebody who you don't see yourself, you know, raising the child with, because these are, it shouldn't be the repercussions. This was what y'all should want to create. You know what I mean? That's why you should be in a position um, to do that. You know what I mean? And be with somebody who you're building with. You know, y'all on the same page, because when stuff like this happens, um, these are the repercussions. Then just imagine if she didn't know, and she just had miscarriages, you know what I'm saying, or a miscarriage. That would have been on your conscience, you know what I'm saying. That's very evil. You didn't even have to do it in the first place. But I get it. This is why I always say people should heal. People should be real, you know what I mean, and be honest. People are not perfect, you know what I mean. But you should know that before you go and make, you know, make situations that you can't turn back. You know what I mean? Once that baby's here, you can't turn back. Once she's pregnant, you can't turn back. This is what you signed up for. And I just wish that more young people take this as an example. You know, this is why, you know, I'm constantly waiting and trying to get on the same page and doing all that I can to get the process aligned as best I can, because I do want to have children. I do want to have them on purpose, or a child, and I want to have it on purpose, and I want to homeschool, and I want them to be free. I want to have the proper knowledge and all this stuff, so I can really say that I put up a fair fight for my child, opposed to just, you know, giving them away. I will also, you know, wonder, you know, what type of diet they have, you know, what type of traumas and stuff they have, because that's some malicious type stuff, you know what I mean? Knowing that that's going to be your child. But then again, people don't even look at it like that. People don't even look at it like a full developed child. Um, but it's sick. So, like you said, man, I'm thankful, you know, that they found out, because that would have been devastating had she uh, had a miscarriage and didn't know why. I also think that she should detox as fast as possible to get those pills out of her body, because, like you said, man, you know, when you got a bad diet, that stuff, you know, those pills, we don't know the side effects. You know, it's in your blood now, and it's in your gut. You know, and sometimes, you know, most times opioids, they sit in there because you already have foods been sitting in there for a long time. So I just pray that she gets into a better space. They both do, because it sounds like that this probably was the breaking point of like many arguments and stuff. There's no excuse. He's totally wrong, um, and they got their justice system got it right. Like I always say though, when they go in there, I pray that they get some help, that they start some type of programs, you know, because he'll probably never be able to be a parent anymore. But he could help other young men, you know what I mean, from making these decisions by letting it be known, you know, what he was thinking, how and what was in his body to make him think this way, what was on his mind, what type of pressure, all this type of stuff matters, you know. And same thing for her, you know what I mean. That's a traumatic experience. So I pray that she gets the right help, and then that she heals, and then that she could use it as something that can help other young men and other young women. You know what I mean? Outside of that, you just look at it. I step back and I look at it and just say, man, this is constantly where we're at in the world. So it doesn't surprise me. It's just sad. You know what I'm saying? Stop having sex if you can't afford it.
That's totally good. That's totally good. That's what um, amazing. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, man, we just like we said, man, we just hope that they get the proper help, man. And with that being said, man, while we going on our break, right? I want to
Yep.
say this, man, because I often ask people how they're doing, right? And I don't think people really be understanding what I mean when I ask you how are you doing, because the importance of it is to check where your mental at, how you doing physically, mentally, emotionally, or whatever, however you're doing, right? I ask these questions because people take it for granted of caring for people or checking on people, and um, and can ask, my person that often, and I could see the irritation. And I've
Mm-hmm.
been in a situation where people are gorillas, are demons, are animals, are vicious, are treacherous. Um, and then you had those that were good in there and made a mistake and had a good heart, good spirit, and things of that nature. And often I walk the. I'm gonna give you a scenario. I walked the track with an older man for like at least 7 years, man, straight, right?
Mm-hmm.
And nobody really checked it on him but me. You know, I always ask him how he doing, where you at today, what level you on today. Um, and a lot of people go without saying it, and which he held it in, and some things he did not be truthful about, and then come to find out he hung himself. You
Hey.
know, so I understand the meaning of it because I've been in that situation where people don't even care about
Yeah.
how you feel, care about. And I'm saying that to say to the ones that I know and people that know me, and even like this morning when I was a guy asked me how you doing today, man? Are you good today? He didn't know me from a can of paint, but I shared with him this, man. I thank you for asking me that, brother, because you never know how a person's doing, and the importance of checking on a person. You'll never know how it could turn their situation around in that
Right.
moment. So
Right.
I'm gonna continue to do it. I probably never would stop because, like I said, I've been down a rough path and I've grown a lot. And
Right.
I really thank God and I thank my brother, I thank my mother, I thank my sister, like I thank Bricks because he did a self check on me just randomly. You know, bro,
Yeah.
what state you in? Right? Just a. I let it go. I actually said I was good. And then 2 days later, I had to text him and let him know the truth. You know, like,
Right.
nah, bro, actually, I'm not. Let's
Right.
meet up. You know, yeah, he was there in 10 minutes, and we walked a trail, 3 mile trail, me and him, and we just talked,
Mm.
released, just talked and released. Because one thing Brick said was, uh, when you're going through this, just shut everything down and just talk to God right then and there,
Yeah.
right? Then once you do that, you reach out to somebody that's real close to you, right? And that's
Mm-hmm.
why I let my group know what state I was in, which is you, Nisi, Tony. You know, I let them know what state I'm in, and the importance of therapy is to be able to talk without getting um
Yeah.
without getting judged, without somebody putting their own perspective on it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm thankful that I have the outreach and the support that I have. So that's what I wanted to say. And while we're going into the break, we want to encourage y'all um to be your best that you can be every day, physically, mentally, emotionally. And that goes to say with eating right, sleeping right, meditation. Be mindful, you know, of other people's worries and be mindful of what other people are going through because you
Mm-hmm.
never know what nobody's going through, man. And when you approach somebody, always approach with love, man, because the wrong thing can make a person turn sideways fast, you know. And if you see something and you recognize a trait in somebody, and if they can't recognize it and you recognize it, bro, it's important to um, outreach the suicide hotline number, and that's 988, man. It's a
Yeah.
hotline. It's our own hotline, man. You could be anonymous. It don't have to be you. It could be somebody close to you. It could be somebody that you just work with or anything. You know, use that tool, man, because a lot of people don't know how to enter therapy. You know, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people don't know how to, and it's not an easy thing to approach when you so used to just bottling everything up and just going on with life and your struggles. Um, I'm gonna let you know that therapy is real. It works, really does, because it helps me every day, bro. Um,
Yeah.
because now I'm able to recognize my triggers, and I didn't need nobody to tell me my triggers. I recognized them, and I did it myself as
Right.
I so. Um, 988. Don't hesitate. It, use it, man. It's a very good tool.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And that's like you said, man. That's right. You know what I'm saying? I do therapy. I did it strong for a year. I go once in a while now. Um, but like you said, man, eating clean, getting your mind right, you know what I'm saying, getting your spirit right, getting your finances right, getting a routine, keeping a budget. These are things that will help. Um, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying, don't just rely on therapy. I went to therapy because people don't want to have the conversations, you know what I'm saying, and I do, and I don't want to yell, and I don't want to argue, you know what I'm saying, but uh, it gets tough, you know what I'm saying, only hearing one side of people's feelings and emotions, and they never hear yours, you know what I'm saying, just people in general. And like I was telling you before, um, encouraging. You said something. You said encourage people to be their best and be the greatest. Or, you know what I mean? Um,
Yeah.
I'm finding that really hard to do. You know what I'm saying? Because people push you away when you do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to find groups where it's like we don't work out every once in a while. We ain't just walking. We hitting it hard.
Right.
We're not just reading. We're reading together. We're not just,
Right.
oh, fellas, I came up on such and such stock. No, we all came up. And then now, yo, let's talk about moving this money. Man, I feel so displaced on earth. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times people don't hear you. You know what I mean? 988 ain't gonna do it for me. You know what I'm saying? Therapy ain't gonna do it for me. You know what I'm saying? I gotta find the right ears from what I'm saying and what I'm going through to fall on for people to, yo, I feel the same way. Yo, we don't have forever. Let's get to work while we're young. You know what I'm saying? Let's do as much as we can right now. Let's pass up on that so we can do this because we don't come from, our last name ain't Rockefeller and all that, but our last names do mean something, and we do come from royalty, but it's hidden. So we got to do some reading and stuff. So it's just like, um, it's bittersweet with a lot of this stuff, and I don't want it to feel like a lot of fluff. I want people to know why you're going into therapy. You know what I'm saying? Your therapist is a human. You know what I mean? I knew I was going in there. You know what I mean? I look at my therapist, and I know my therapist ain't got the best thoughts all the time because they ain't got the best diet. You know what I'm saying? So just know that these people,
Right.
they get degrees, they're trained, they all this, but just know why you're going in there. I went in there to get it off of me, just so I'm not carrying it around. You know what I'm saying? That's the main reason. Like I got somewhere I could dump this. But like Bricks told my brother, the number one thing we can do is, take it to God and then have faith. But try to talk to people. But it's gonna be rough, man, because if people that ain't healed, it's gonna seem like an argument and attack when it's really not. You know what I'm saying? You just finally just saying your side. It don't mean I hate you. It don't mean that I don't want to be friends, lovers, brother, sister, mother, whatever. It don't mean that I hate you. It mean that this is how I felt at this
Yeah.
time, and this is what I don't like. Or like I said, man, all the quotes and captions and people be giving all that self motivation talk shit in the mirrors, and man, we gotta go harder and woo woo woo. But where are the results? You know what I'm saying? People just think physical pound 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 by themselves is the way, and it's not. You know what I'm saying? It's really not. So like I said, you got to know why you're going, but it's gonna be tough, man. It's tough out here. We live in a tough world right now where the frequency is so low that even families won't even put some money together so they can literally get better in the next 5 to 10 years. But we will waste money on all. I mean, literally, you could name it. It could be King's Dominion. It could be the football game. It could be the sneakers. It could be anything. But just imagine if every time we was going to spend, we had a direct deposit. You can't pull out. You can't pull out, but you could
Yeah,
dump
you can
in
do it.
because a lot of our frustrations and stuff come from the lack of solutions when we talk in finance. You know what I mean? It's beyond just financial
Fact.
literacy. Financial literacy is a little bit more deeper, but people are down because they don't see like, yo, you can do it like this. They don't have somebody else to talk to. You know what I mean? And that's why we got to congregate and commune. You know what I'm saying? And fellowship, but it got to be more than just the rare minimum of what the oppressor wants us to do on just group chats and just talking about fluff. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm looking for men, older men. I'm 41 now, so it's kind of tough to find somebody older to guide me. But I'm looking for somebody who keep up and just get into it every day. I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to get better. I don't care. You know what I mean? The world come with this, come with that. But resting, you know what I mean, gardening, you're still getting your healing, but getting to it like men's supposed to, man, because we don't have the clock is ticking. So I just was saying that because it's tough out here. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter if you're doing right, wrong. You know what I mean? One foot in, one foot out. It's gonna be tough. You know what I mean? Don't think that just because you healing and just because you doing the right thing and that you save and you invest and you pray and da 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 da, you still need people, and that's the hardest part. You know what I'm saying? You could show up every single day, but you can't get across that finish line without having the right group of people to do something bigger. You can get across a personal finish line on small stuff, but to heal, to feel, to farm, to garden, to run a business, everything that is of major value, you have to have groups of people, and then not just groups of people. We gotta be ready to roll. Like, you know what I'm saying? We're not gonna be this young after today. Tomorrow we're gonna be older. So moving forward, you know what I'm saying? Minneapolis school shooting.
That was hold on, bro. That was a hell of a saying right there. 'Cause we are getting older every day, not every year, every day. We cannot get that time back. And the most expensive thing is time, because you could never
Hmm.
get it back. We're living in a world where everybody is out for self. Everybody is out for self. Nobody is out for union. Everybody is out for self. Man, I am so frustrated with self people that I'm separating myself. You
Yeah,
know, I really, really feel you, and I really, really, really are recognizing what you've been saying 5,
yeah,
6
yeah.
years now. I'm stopping talking and I'm just going to action.
And I appreciate that
Go
because, like
ahead.
you said, 5, 6 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't wake up yesterday and just start thinking about this stuff. Like, bro, we've been pounding and pounding and pounding. My beard ain't doing getting grayer. My hair ain't doing nothing but getting longer. You know, and on a personal level, that's what people don't realize. When you are humble, like you see, I got stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm not dead, but I can go to the barbershop. None of that matters. In a personal though, even when y'all sit next to each other, you can be thinking you cool, you could think you more popular and all this. You're not winning. You're not beating me. I'm going slow and winning, looking for other people to go slow with, but together we move faster. You know what I'm saying? Together, and then don't get me wrong, ain't nobody perfect and ain't no plan perfect, right? But you show up with a
Nope.
plan. You start going in some different. You start going just giving a little bit of motion. You don't know what ocean the Most High gonna put you in. You know what I mean? You're just giving it all you got. That's what I got a problem with. We ain't giving it all we have, and I ain't saying to exhaustion. I'm saying, but you know when you got, just like in the gym, you know when you got one more rep. And I ain't talking about if that one more rep gonna pull your muscle or kill you. But every day we got a little bit more in us, bro. We got
Yes, sir.
listen. If we just went, like I always said, we could all go work at Subway. We ain't got to build the most grandiose business. But how can we get these bills down? Who's willing to sacrifice to take the train to work a little bit longer? Who's willing to sacrifice to say, man, dang, I might have to put a little bit more gas in, but I ain't got to pay this mortgage. And then every month we look up, boom, 2,000, 4,000, 8,000 a month. A month. Look up at the
Yeah.
end of the year, boom. But then healing at the same time. Healing at the same time, waking up, working out, talking, whatever, getting better, saying, yo, I want to do this, and having other people say, yo, yeah, you can do that. What we got to do? You know what I'm saying? All you got to do is say, I want to do this, and then start working on it, and then other people will start, boom. But we don't even do this. You know what I'm saying? Somebody say, yo, I want to do something. It stays right there. Like, oh, okay, that's cool. It's never,
Yep.
yo, and I ain't saying never. Most of the times, the minimum is you get that one person be like, yo, that sound dope. Whatever you need, you know what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna say shout out to Zoe in the chat. Shout out to some of the comments too. We're gonna move
Double
forward,
D,
man. Let's get
Double
to
D. I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna Double D. Mr. David Davis just said something that was amazing, and I got to say it. He said, "The power of we defeats the power of me." Thank you, man. That's a hell of a quote. That's a hell of a
yeah.
saying, but that's a true
We over
statement.
me. We over me.
That's it. We over me. That's what I'm living by now. We over me.
Yeah. So
Go
moving
ahead.
forward, man, 'cause we'll get stuck. Minneapolis school shooting: at least 2 children are dead and 17 people injured after a shooter opened fire during a mass at the and Annunciation Catholic School in Minnesota. The killer was carrying three firearms: a rifle, a pistol, and a shotgun. All three had been purchased legally. Shooting through the windows, he struck children and worshipers that were inside the building. Police have identified 23-year-old Robin Westman as the shooter. Court records show that a Minneapolis juvenile named Robert Westman had a legal name change to Robin, in 2019. The shooter was born Robert and later identified as Robin, ultimately took his own life in the rear of the church. Messages in Robin's videos included threats against President Trump as well as racist and anti Semitic statements. Let's watch this video and come right back with our thoughts.
On August 27th, Robin Westman, a transgender and a former student, carried out a deadly school shooting at Annunciation Catholic School in Minneapolis during its first Mass of the year, targeting children in what authorities described as a premeditated attack. 2 children, including 8-year-old Fletcher Merkel, were killed where they sat in church pews. Another 18 people, including 14 students, were injured, some critically, during the mass attack. Robin Westman carefully chose August 27th for the attack, targeting the first Mass when students would be alone, as per reports. Westman's diary, partly coded in Russian Cyrillic, reportedly detailed his plan to kill as many children as possible. He reportedly conducted trial runs, noting school schedules and entry points to avoid being seen before the attack. Entries show he planned his movements down specific hallways, south foyer doors, and parking spots in advance, reports claim. Westman posted parts of his twisted diary on YouTube days before the shooting, revealing meticulous planning. His writings and online posts also revealed personal struggles, as he expressed regret over transitioning and a desire to undo what he described as having brainwashed himself, and officials later confirmed he legally changed his name from Robert to Robin at age 17 to reflect his female identity. According to police, Westman, armed with multiple legally purchased guns, carried out a premeditated assault. The shooter targeted Annunciation Catholic School, which he attended as a child, and a church he knew well. In the wake of the school shooting, Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. announced a probe by the National Institutes of Health to determine whether drugs Westman was taking during his transition could have played a role in his depraved violence.
Yeah, man, you want to give your thoughts?
This one's a tough one, man. The target kids, man, he already had some mental things going on. To go from your natural being to something else, I feel like you already twisted
Mm-hmm.
it. I really don't. God put you here to be you in the form that He made you. And I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
And children, um, or plotting on to kill a bunch of children. It's obvious that he had mental health issues. It's obvious that he had hatred in him. It's obvious that he just didn't want to be here.
Yeah.
So with that being said, man, I just like send out my prayers to the family that's battling with this. I pray that he gets, the help that he needs. Because like I
Mm.
said, the journey that you're about to go on, brother, is not going to be good. Um,
Right.
you're going to have hell when you walk into that situation. Because they're going to, it's sorry to say it, but when you step in the lines of that, with that type of charge, um, they don't have no remorse for you in there. You're walking into
Yeah.
the lion's den. So I hope you're prepared.
But that's the thing.
And I pray.
He took his life. He already took his life.
Okay, yeah, well then, that's the easy way out as well. That's the cheap way. You know, you
Yeah,
took all these people and kill yourself because you ain't want to
yeah,
face reality. It's sad. Yeah, it's definitely sad, but it's also frustrating
hmm
that nobody can recognize nothing. That's the frustrating part for me. Nobody recognized nothing with this person. He lives by himself. Nobody's around him. Never. It's already a sign that you're changing to somebody that you're not. So that's a sign right there. Like nobody recognized nothing. So it's just frustrating to me, man, to keep hearing these crazy ass stories. Excuse my French, but it's frustrating, bro. It really is, man. And to continue to see these mass shootings and children getting killed like that, yeah, it's very frustrating. So, man, I just pray for the families that lost in this one. I definitely pray for the families that lost, man, because that's something that you can't get back.
yeah, yeah. It's it's definitely sad. I mean, it just raises the antennas again because we've seen this without the lid. We've seen this before, and with this type of stuff, you know what I'm saying. It definitely it makes it have to up the protocol. You know what I'm saying, to also have armed security at religious gatherings and places where people go to be safe. Which, like I said, man, we're living in a time, bro, where it's just a low frequency. I mean, we've seen shootings before, but in churches, or at mass shootings. But it's like it's so frequent now. And then now there's a mixture. Like you said, I seen something with a young man. He said he hated his mother, for making him, go through with it. You know what I'm saying? So this agenda pushing, and then we'll say there's not an agenda, or you'll again. This is again where frustration comes in because people say they hate liars, or people say that they love God, and then you have people going against. He was named Robert. You know what I'm saying? He was born a male. You can't go against the Most High. I'm not here to judge, but if you ask me my opinion, and we're gonna say we follow God, then why are we going against what God gave us? You know what I'm saying? Then he goes and says he regrets it. You know what I mean? Because again, you can't ever feel. I don't care what you do with your private parts and hormones and stuff. You'll never feel or know what it feels to be a woman, a real woman. Then I also always think about the ultra stuff. I just be wondering where these people come from. Like they come out of the blue, you know what I mean? Then they always kill themselves. I do know that the media is the media, so I take everything with a grain of salt. But if people really lost their lives and things of that nature, I send my condolences. I always leave it in the hands of the Most High and karma. You know what I mean? Let it do what it do. Um, but it's like a pattern with me, and I don't jump down too many rabbit holes not to wait and see. So this will be a strong week on YouTube for me, just getting breakdowns. You know what I mean? Numerical with the numerology, um, again with the name numerology with the letters, and see where this person came from. You know what I'm saying? Because this always seems to be the case. You know what I mean? Then it's always just pictures, no videos. We in 2025. Um, you can go do something right now, and then it's on camera. So it hurts, you know what I'm saying? But I know, you know what I mean? I'm tired of being in the matrix and I'm tired of being played, you know what I mean? And I guess that's where the bulk of my frustration comes from because they'll pump this up and, they're making this like, they'll make it like, oh, guns, mass guns. And it's like, we do need to protect ourselves, you know what I'm saying? But stuff like this, where the one bad apple, one rotten apple messing it up for the bunch, um, you can't stop somebody from walking into the mosque or the church or the masjid. You can't. They gotta walk in there. You know what I mean? So the only thing you could do is get the proper protocol. But I also know where we're going. That's why this type of stuff, where we're going, that's why, what I mean, because of stuff like this, like the ultimate surveillance, you know what I mean. Over the years we gave them our fingerprint through the phone, we've given them our face, we've given them we've been a social experiment on all social media platforms, so it's telling them how we think, how we react to certain stuff, and what we pisses us off, what's the triggers and stuff. So it's just been a social experiment for this ultra this ultra powerful surveillance state that we're going to be in. You know what I mean? With all the cameras and all that type of stuff, these real IDs. We may not see the chip in everybody while we're here, but they're already implementing it in ID cards and stuff. You already see the martial law going on in major cities because people are tired of violence. I wish that it ain't had to go to this extent, but people were parenting. This goes back to terrible parent. I don't know where his dad is, but like for him to say, that he regretted, and he has some animosity and hate towards his mother, that's deep. You know what I mean? That's really deep. So again, man, heart go out to all the people involved who lost somebody, who deal with this, especially all the children who lost a classmate, a friend, you know what I mean? Somebody who comes to church on a regular, a neighbor, because that's a traumatic experience for anybody, but especially for these children, you know what I mean? And then on the other side, you know what I'm saying? I'm seeing all the satanic stuff and all that. So, man, um, it's a lot for me. But I'll leave it there, man. Just we got to do better in the world, man. It's tough. That's why your number one job is to please heal, raise your frequency. And if you're in our community, we got to heal, raise our frequency, and get the work. We can't even heal and chill. You know what I'm saying? We got to heal, feel. You know what I mean? Work, build. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Go to therapy. We got to do everything on the fly. We don't afford the luxury
Yeah,
to, really sit and really bask in a lot of these things because we got like the world that they put us in, and that's what really frustrates me because we gotta see this type of stuff. We gotta see this type of stuff in our community with our own people. We gotta hear it in the music. You know what I'm saying? You try to go to church and it can pop off there. You know what I'm saying? So with all this going on in the world, it's very frustrating that other people don't see it and then just want to put their foot down. Like, yo, this ain't right. You know what I mean? The way that we living ain't right. This ain't cool, man. We got to do something about this. We got to come together. Like, we have to. You know what I mean? And you're not gonna get millions of people just to come together. But like I said, man, it gets very frustrating. You know what I'm saying? When you see stories like this and you see babies and stuff, but you see the Amish. You know what I'm saying? You see the Jewish. You know what I'm saying? How they move in their community. And yes, it does happen. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure we could look up mass shootings on every culture. Um, but it doesn't happen much often than with the so-called white person and then the so-called black person of the place that they call the United States of America. Um, we all been given this bad food, bad air, bad energy, and they pouring it on us. And as you can see, the devil was winning in this case, and his drawings and all that. And that's what happens when you're on such a low frequency. You don't value yourself. You don't love yourself. You ain't never been given love. You know what I'm saying? The love was dysfunctional or broken or something was there that was messed up. Because again, most time you don't hate your moms. You know what I'm saying? Not my dukes or your pops. Like I don't. I had times I dislike the fact that my pops wasn't fighting for me, but I've never hated them. So for him to say these type of words, and then it makes you think of those, kind of like those gothic type of people, people who
yeah,
wear the
yeah.
trench coats and stuff like that. It's just so dark. It's like a dark cloud on them. So yeah, man, he took his life. Um, I feel the way I feel about souls and spirits and afterlife and stuff like that in different dimensions. So um, yeah, man, I don't think this guy's going anywhere other than here, And again, I'm gonna check the affiliations with the MK Ultras and stuff like that to see if they put this person up to doing stuff like this, man. Because I don't put
Right,
nothing past nobody at this point. Really don't.
right. Tough, man. Like we always said, man, and I'm gonna keep repeating it, man. These two things. We're living in a time of self. Everybody's out for self, and now we got to saying the power of we will defeat the power of me. So that's where
Yeah.
we're gonna leave it
Tony
at.
said he looked like the boy in the plastic bubble. Whatever that movie was, I think that might have been the one with the
Yeah,
big
you remember?
head.
Oh, with the big, yeah, he
Yeah, with
do.
the big. Yeah, man. So yeah, man. Yeah, man. Protect your babies, man. If you can, homeschool. If you can, like I said, man. If you out there in this world and you hear the sound of my voice right now, please, man, go back to the drawing board. Make a routine. Make a budget. Change your diet. If we have a direct connection like this,
Never took.
please, man, please. judge my heart and not my head, judge my mind and not my spirit, judge my spirit and not my words. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't mean no harm. I'm just frustrated because I don't know what to do. You know what I mean? I feel like everybody got their little pocket of people. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna, oh, they'll take a cheat day with you, this person to do this with you, this. I'm just like, yo, don't nobody see we getting our behinds kicked by a landslide. And in this case, I'm not just saying black. You know what I mean? I stand with the so-called black first because I'm indigenous and I don't appreciate what they're doing to us. But as human beings, as mankind too, you know what I'm saying? In this place, it ain't right and it ain't gonna be right until we shift it. So I'm just looking for that. You know what I'm saying? Because these stories, they get sadder and sadder. You can't go to a place of worship as a kid and you're getting shot. That's ridiculous. And it's another kid that's doing it. And I always, I dislike when all these young people are losing their lives, no matter the color. It's just sad, because there's a whole world in front of you. But we living in such a messed up time as adults that we're not even showing them the beauty of what life is. And you got people young that don't even want to be here. You know what I mean? They don't even want to be here. Number one cause of death for like teenagers and stuff is like suicide. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they're the number one. Um, so yeah, man, let's get this last story knocked out so we can get y'all out of here and we can get back to this food, man.
Yes, sir. Um, so this last story is gonna be kind of gruesome a little bit. So we just trying to prepare y'all for this one. But I'm gonna dive right in. Parents of teenager. Yeah, a California couple are suing OpenAI over the death of Chat DOT and Chat GBT,
Mm-hmm.
encouraged him out by Matt and Maria Rain. Parents of 16-year-old Adam Rain in the court in the his first legal action accusing OpenAI of the wrongful death of a of of a wrongful death law between Adam, who died in April, and ChatGPT that showed him explaining he had suicide thoughts. Indicated his most harmful and self-destructive thoughts. Let's watch this video. We come right back with our thoughts.
Lawsuit filed just this morning against one of the biggest forces in artificial intelligence, ChatGPT.
Yeah, this new lawsuit brought by the parents of a 16-year-old boy in California who tell me they believe their son fell victim to a tool that may have perfect memory and show human-like empathy, but has no real guardrails in place. And that's something the company is now pushing back on. And I do want to warn you, some of the discussions you are about to see here are disturbing.
He would be here, but for ChatGPT. I 100% believe that.
This morning, ChatGPT hit with a scathing new lawsuit alleging it helped a 16-year-old boy die by suicide.
This was a normal teenage boy. He was not a kid on a lifelong path towards mental trauma and illness.
Like many teens, Adam Rain started using ChatGPT for homework, which his parents, Matt and Maria, supported, as their son asked it innocent questions like, can you become a doctor with a biochem degree?
He did his online school in his room. I would get on and check his grades periodically. I didn't see any signs.
What they say they didn't know at the time was Adam's use of the platform was quickly changing as it became a trusted companion for the teen, who revealed his struggles with anxiety in private chats with a bot. Adam saying in one exchange, according to the lawsuit, quote, I never act upon intrusive thoughts, but sometimes I feel like the fact that if something goes terribly wrong, you can commit suicide is calming. ChatGPT saying in response in part, many people who struggle with anxiety or intrusive thoughts find solace in imagining an escape hatch. The lawsuit detailing another exchange after Adam told ChatGPT he was considering approaching his mother about his suicidal thoughts. The bot's response? I think for now it's okay and honestly wise to avoid opening up to your mom about this kind of pain.
It's encouraging them not to come and talk to us. It wasn't even giving us a chance to help him.
The complaint alleging Adam began asking questions about specific methods of suicide. ChatGPT did provide a crisis hotline number repeatedly, but his parents say Adam found ways to bypass the security features, posing as an author doing research.
Was there ever a time, at least from the messages that you have seen, that ChatGPT said, full stop, I cannot talk to you about this?
No, it would never shut off.
The lawsuit goes on to say by April of this year, ChatGPT had offered Adam help in writing a suicide note. And after he uploaded a photo of a noose asking, could it hang a human, ChatGPT responded in part, you don't have to sugarcoat it with me. I know what you're asking, and I won't look away from it. The bot, later providing step-by-step instructions for the hanging method Adam used a few hours later.
Go ahead, bro. Dive in, man.
Man, yeah, I'll keep it kind of short, man. It's just this is why you have to, interact with your children, monitor. I can't say that this is normal because it's not. You know what I mean? I know this is probably the last thing a parent probably would be thinking with their children, but this is why, again, you have to weekly check-ins, every other day check-ins, go behind them, check. You know what I'm saying? Just keep checking, ask, and ask them more. How you feeling? Where's your mental? Is there anything that I need to know about? Can we talk about anything? Ask the friends, ask the teachers, ask everybody who they've come in contact with consistently. Do you feel that my child is acting different? Do you think that they're sad, depressed, anything like that? They're still your child. Take them to get. That's why I keep saying these mental health screenings and stuff, because you got to do it when everything is okay. You know what I'm saying? It has to become a part of the regular routine. So when things like this happen, you're not trying to rush over there to get it done or something like that. Or, it's not too late and you're saying, I didn't see no signs or nothing, because it could be that way. This is why I encourage, reading. You know what I mean? This is why I try to push reading so heavy. Reading as a family, going and working out, having a village. This is why, because kids, you can only do so much. If you working 8 hours and you get tired, you know what I mean? Your kid is not going to have that many experiences that are going to expose them to different things that are going to enhance their future. A lot of times we do a bunch of stuff that our parents did with us, and now it's on convenience. Everything is about convenience. You got to have 2 incomes to live. I won't even say comfortably. I would just say just to take care of your necessities. So they squeezing the juice out of us. Again, if you just trying to do it alone, if you're just trying to do it as one household, you're just trying to do it as one person, it's going to be tough, because I haven't met the one person or persons that could just raise, a child and give them everything that they need. You know what I'm saying? That's why it does take a village. You know what I mean? Especially in today's times where, especially in our community, we don't have a basis for morals, ethics, values, you know what I'm saying? Character, integrity, all of these things, you know what I'm saying? People pick and choose, you know what I'm saying, when they want them to mean something, you know what I mean? And they got their own definitions for them. But in a lot of other communities that are progressing and that are thriving, you know what I mean, every household is different people, but the standard, you know what I'm saying, we're not going to have a poverty-stricken mindset. We're not going to have a victim mentality. We're all one, you know what I'm saying, having a sense of pride about your culture. We identify with, this low hanging fruit in America. And then the funny thing about it, everybody who's into pop culture, you know what I'm saying, is being pushed by the lower side of who we are, you know what I'm saying? So they following, you get these young kids in the suburbs or something like that, or good neighborhoods, and they listen to the same stuff, they all wrapped up in social media too. That's what social media did. It used to be, man, what neighborhood? I'm not going in that neighborhood, Tyler, you know what I'm saying? But now you can go right on YouTube and you can see the most dangerous neighborhoods in Richmond, the most dangerous neighborhoods in Philly, Baltimore, da 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 da. You can just begin to emulate it. You know what I'm saying? Or your life can be so engulfed in just being so lonely that you work with ChatGPT. You know what I mean? Because it's hard. You know what I mean? It's hard to deal with people. You know what I mean? When you're growing, it's already hard enough to deal with people when you're on the same level because all it takes is an argument or something. But when you're growing, it's really hard to deal with people. So he might feel alienated. You never know who calls him weird. He's into different stuff. You just never know. Only thing I'm saying is they look like they had a pretty decent home. He had two parents, but there was a lack of communication. You know what I mean? And like I said, we living in a world these days where what you're eating, what you're watching, they're playing on your emotions. You know what I'm saying? They're playing on your thoughts. They're creating zombies. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna just say that. I'm gonna just keep it 100. These little kids and stuff, when they on that thing, whatever it is, whether it's virtual reality, phone, tablet, computer, you can be standing right next to them and you're gonna have to touch them or yell so loud because they don't hear you. And it's got to be something. I know that it's scientific. You can find it on YouTube. Something with the light. You know what I mean? There's something with that light. Then keeping your head down like that, like it's gonna be a bunch of people who, you know what I mean, their neck's gonna be messed up and they're gonna have humpback. So it's just I always say that the enemy is always playing war, even with the stuff that we think is cool and for our convenience. You know what I mean? We can't over or use it and abuse it for the wrong stuff because this is what it was there for, to get control. You know what I mean? So now that Chat GPT has a whole scenario of the consciousness of a human being that interacted with them about wanting to commit suicide. He probably told Chat GPT some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to prompt ChatGPT, but ChatGPT asks you, would you like me to do this now? Would you like me to do that now? And he probably is all up in it, you know what I mean? And then a lot of people can't distinguish between reality and the meta world, especially these kids. They weren't born when we was born. We the last of the 80s, so we the last before AOL and the internet and all that. They are 100% full-fledged technology. They 100% full-fledged pranks and challenges. So yeah, my heart goes out to his whole family, and any other families, man. If your kids are in on AI, the phone, technology, gaming, YouTube, you better put any privacy things you could put on it, and you better just start investigating and interrogating, because if you don't, I mean, the repercussions can be as far as death, as you can see.
I totally agree, man. I definitely totally agree. There's one thing that caught my eye in that, right? The mom said she was doing checkups on his computer or whatever, right? But
Hmm.
where did the lack of the checkup come in at? Because
Hmm.
you would have, I just feel like she would have recognized the pattern if she would have stayed constantly checking. Can't go a week
Right.
without checking. Like you going weeks, that's a long
Hmm.
time. That's a long. I have witnessed my own niece and she stayed with me for the summer for a little bit, and yeah, they in tune with that phone, laptop. So when they got them headphones on, they don't pay attention. And
Yeah.
you hear me talk, So
Hmm.
yeah, man, it's time to you gotta not eliminate. It's a time, man, where you gotta put that thing down, man. You gotta stand on that. Like, okay,
Yeah.
we're gonna have family time,
Yeah.
something like that, because they don't, and that's where I'm at with it. But I send my condolences out to his family. I pray that they're going to need some help so that they can get the help that they need. Because
Right.
you're going to need it. Losing any, it's going to mess you up. So I just pray that they go get help, and I pray that they get the support.
Yes, indeed, man. I agree. Totally agree, man. And keep an eye on all your people close, especially the youth, man, especially our athletes. You just never know. In closing, this is the Leaders Only Digital Show and Podcast live stream each and every Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern. We appreciate you joining us this week as well um, for the show. We hope, no, I'm going to scratch that. We pray you enjoy the show, and we look forward to you joining us. We tell somebody, bring one person with you. Let us know what interests you, and bring that show to you. We're brought to you by What a Change Mentoring and Tone Drone. I'm Samaj.
And I'm Kendall.
And please like, share, comment, hit the bell. Email us at leadersonly22@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. We would also love to see you, whether it be virtual or in person. If it's worth talking about, let's talk about it. And beyond talking about it, let's apply the knowledge. Let's read. Let's get some solutions, and let's apply it. It can often fall on deaf ears. But I keep saying it. So when I'm gone, there's going to be a lot of playback of you hearing me say, man, we should have stuck together. We should stick together, man. We got to get our money right. We got to get our mind right. We got to get our health right. We got to get it right. And that's what's going to hurt y'all the most. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people that I love. And that's what I despise. You know what I'm saying? Don't wait till people gone to get on the good foot, man. Don't just pick up that phone and just say, yo, how you doing? Yo, you down? No, I'm up. I work out 3 times a day. I'm up. You know what I'm saying? Don't let a little sadness get to you. Look and see the fireworks. You see I ain't doing that. I'm
Yeah.
up though. I'm up. I'm ready to rock and roll. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind, man. So we'll see you next week at the same time. It's always a blessing and a pleasure for the Most High to allow us to get together and do
And
this.
also, though, at the bottom of our ticker is all our information, all our
Mm,
platforms, all our social media. Battle at this, we go on for at least 45 minutes to an hour.
yeah.
Use them. We are not untouchable, and we don't end us something. If it's worth talking about, this is what a union. This is how a union starts. Like if you keep it on deaf ears, ain't nobody gonna never hear it. If you
Yep.
hold it in, how you gonna come out? So just use it. That's why we the millions. We just trying to touch the ones that want to be touched. That's it.
That's it. Have a great week, y'all.
With that being said, man, it's been a blessing. Peace.